What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? I know everyone is having a legendary day. Oh man, bittersweet. Of course, we of course got some breaking Jimmy news. Like I just saw it maybe like half an hour ago. So we're gonna of course get into the Jimmy Garoppolo news, but we got to break down the Snyder dub. I was really impressed. Jason and I were live at Levi Stadium on Sunday, so we were both really impressed. We'll go ahead and get to that. But before we do, of course, we got to remind everybody to stay tuned to the end of the show for a special 10% off coupon code for all season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful apparel, like Jason and I's Run CMC shirts. 10% excludes any on sale items. And also save 10% by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link and help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link is in the description of the video or podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Make sure to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Make sure you go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Catch Jamie and Jason. Well, we'll see how Jason's feeling on Friday, but definitely catch Jamie on NFR Weekly News Wrap, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And of course, catch our Week 14 shows. Pregame will be coming live at noon. Jason will be live with the halftime show, and Jamie will be live at 9 p.m. here on the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show back.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
My dumb ass didn't put Jason on. What's cracking, bro? How you doing?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, you know I'm legendary, bro. First of all, bro, thanks for coming out. I had a blast this weekend, bro.
Right.
Niner party was cool. Sucks that
It was
we
fun,
missed
man.
Jed.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe he was right there.
I don't know how the fuck we missed Jed.
Right?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck we missed him because we were literally at the party to what 7, 8, and that's pretty much when everybody started leaving.
Yeah.
We got a comment. Our foot does not require surgery. Yeah, we will get to that, Roberto. By the way, what's cracking, people? How you doing?
Wait, are we talking about?
Was that the
Jimmy's
first guys
foot
you
or my
ever
toe?
met in person? Yes. Yeah, we'll get to Jason's toe. We got some tales to tell, but yes, this is the first weekend I have met in person. So we had
It was good times.
blast. Friday was cool. Went out and had a drink. Had a couple beers. Tried to do a show live that absolutely epically fucking failed.
We tried. It was like, okay, this isn't
went out
working.
and, oh yeah, by the way, my girl said, no problemo, we'll get your orange sauce out to you ASAP. Like,
I'm not sweating. Like,
she
man,
said she
that's
ships
the most
orange
disappointing
sauce.
thing ever.
So, for all our faithful that are listening in San Jose, I took Jason to La Vix, and he had the orange sauce. So, that's what we're talking about. If you've been to La Vix in San Jose and you try the orange sauce, like people go dope fiending over it. It's apparently it's good. I don't like it because I don't like spicy shit, but like people who like spicy shit say it's to die for. Anyway, so I asked you a question right when we got in, and we're gonna get Jason out of here quick, as y'all can't tell, he looks sick as fuck.
Oh, dude, temperature.
The elephant in the room.
I'm fucking struggling right now.
Let's do it. question of the hour. Did you see anything from Brock Purdy that made you think that he can operate this offense on a functionable level?
I mean, yeah, I think we saw it all. He basically more or less ran the same style of offense as Jimmy would have. Granted, because obviously we started the year with
You
this
look
being a Trey offense, and then he got hurt. Now we switched it
Mhm.
back over to a Jimmy offense. And to be honest, even coming out of college, he's more or less the same thing as Jimmy. He's just a little bit smaller. There's a question of his arm strength and this and that. But at the same time, the offense ran exactly the same as if Jimmy was there. So I have complete confidence in him right now.
You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of a combination of Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard.
I
Maybe
would have
not the
went with
arm strength
more.
that CJ had.
Oh yeah,
Not definitely not the arm strength that CJ had, but to me, the thing that may impressed me the most was I want to say 119 to 19. It was the 3rd and 10 to essentially the touchdown drive that gave us the lead going into halftime, which I believe I would have to look it up right now. But Shanahan, when leading at halftime, is now 34-9 in his career, and 34-9 in his career, and 6-2 this year. So of course the only game is being the I want to say Broncos game and the Bears game, week 1, week 3. I think we're the only ones we left at halftime that we went we're leading at halftime and lost. Anyway, so with Jimmy, the news being, as Roberto said, Kim just put it in the chat literally as I was pushing the live button. 7 to 8 weeks. That puts it about divisional, maybe conference championship, that he could come back. I was telling you off air, I don't need Brock Purdy I'm looking at this as a 3-game season. 3 to 4 game season. You give me Tampa Bay, the Seahawks, and the Commanders. I think that the division is ours, and
yeah,
I think we could put a bow on this thing.
yeah.
Or if you look at the bigger picture, 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
With the main one being
I'm
the
going to say the
Seahawks.
same thing with Brock that we've said with Jimmy for
Mhm.
pretty much his entire time being a Niner. We don't need you to win the game. Don't lose it.
No.
Jimmy's been playing amazing this year. Hasn't thrown that many turnovers. And what's happened? We've got the ball out to our playmakers. We've had a damn good streak. Or yeah, it took him a little while to get going, but the man had no preseason for the most part. So we're just going to ask Brock Purdy to do the same exact thing. It'll be a little few wrinkles because Brock is a little bit more mobile. He's obviously not like Trey, where he's a running quarterback.
Escapability.
Yeah, more than
because
Jimmy
they
does,
were blitzing him all game. It was clear.
Oh,
They were saying the
yeah,
house had him all game.
Came out. Yeah,
yeah, they were saying the house had him all game. So offensively, you looked at me sometime, I want to say sometime in the 3rd quarter, you looked at me and you're like, bro, do you see anything different than what it would have been if Jimmy was in this game? No, not really. No.
Same thing.
Nothing that different that I would have said that matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do this right here, right now. Dirty Purdy, as Jason looked at me and said, 25 of 37, 210 and 2 touchdowns with the pick. Is that not a Jimmy Garoppolo stat line?
No, and think about that. That's
Maybe
37 passes, man, for his first NFL game. That tells you the kind of trust that they have in him.
And a lot of them were 3rd down.
Yeah.
A lot of them were 3rd down. It seemed like, to me, I didn't talk to you about this at the game or on the attempted post game show he attempted to do, drunk as hell. But it's, to me, it didn't feel that different than Jimmy. It really didn't. He was slanging it. Kyle felt more aggressive. I mean, is that just me? Or please put it in the comments, Roberto, everybody who's watching. Was it just me, or did Kyle feel more aggressive in this game? I mean, how many times did we go for it on 4th down? And it wasn't like 4th and 1. Once we went for it, I want to say it was like 4th and 4.
Yeah, and we got it.
So you're being more
it was kind of
aggressive.
Conservative up until halftime, and then after we made that halftime drive to score, and all of a sudden it was just like Kyle was like, "All right, we can do this," and he just opened up the freaking and let the floodgates go with passing and letting Brock go at it.
And I haven't fully listened to all the pregame shows because I was drunk and yeah, I did. It was just Sunday night was night. Anyway, um, getting home and everything. But so by the way, glad you made it home safe, bro. Glad you made it home safe.
Yeah. Glad
To
we all did.
me, it was right. Um, it was the players in the locker room have confidence in him. And I like when you tell me, 37 times, that's aggressive.
Yep.
So I can't say, oh, we're not going to ask him to throw 30 times. I mean, I
Because we
don't know.
did.
But to me, and this game, maybe this game doesn't prove it as much, but I still believe we're a team that wants to run the football and rely on our defense. That's not so much that you would Jimmy. Sure. Do you feel a little bit more secure when it's Jimmy? I mean, do you?
No.
I mean, do you?
Even his interception wasn't bad though. You know what I mean? Because that was thrown like, hey,
No, it actually
it was
benefited
basically a
us.
punt. Yeah, so I'm like, he went for something. If he
Yeah.
didn't get it, screw it. But that like them catching it, that was actually really good. So I'm not even mad at the interception.
Yeah. I mean, sure he missed. I watched the Baldy breakdown, and McCaffrey was open for the was open and everything like that. But I
Yeah.
love the aggressive play because you're saying throw it downfield, and at worst, it was basically a punt.
Yeah. More or
Or
less,
you
that's
get
what
a
it ended up.
PI.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I would rather have him throw the pick than the incompletion because they would have actually got the ball. I might have been able to get in, throw up, maybe do a play or
Yeah.
something. Anyway, but yeah, no, it was very operable. If we could play like that for, let's just say, the foreseeable future, if we play like that against Tampa Bay, right, take it one game at a time, I don't see how we can't come out with a victory.
No.
Minus the
I mean,
turnovers.
against anybody.
Let's just say, because obviously getting 4 turnovers, ended up happening, helping, and a defensive touchdown. Obviously ends up helping and everything like that. But if we could just play like that defensively, I mean, Tyreek Hill was the only player that killed us.
And there was only
Which
3 big
I'm
plays?
okay with that.
I think
3. The 2 touchdowns they had,
and then 1 deep one.
which we didn't see the play live because we were coming in through the security at the time. But I watched it, and that's there's nothing that, oh my God, it was just poor tackling and poor angles.
Yeah. And with that team
so
is
to
so
me, that was
fast.
something, it was clearly fixed. Well, let's be real. It was basically, to me, it felt like a very Cooper Cup game, how we handled Cooper Cup. Where at the end of the day, what Tyreek had, I'll go ahead and look up his exact stats. That's first half summary. Final defensive statistics. Here we go. Oh, no, final team statistics. Tyreek had 14 targets, 9 receptions, 146 yards, and a tug. That sounds like to me a very Cooper Cup-ish game. Can you see Cooper Cup having a game like that against us next year?
Yeah. Well, depending on who quarterback is now that
But
the Rams
what's
picked up
going to
Baker
happen?
Mayfield.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. All right, hold on. Let me see. All right, Jason, hold it down for a second. I'm gonna restart my internet, and we're gonna see what
All
we
right.
can do.
So while TJ goes, I'm going to go off of what we were doing while we were there. So if you guys had watched the show, obviously we had Brock Purdy for the Mr. Irrelevant selection coming in. My wife being from Iowa, I ended up watching a lot of like Big 12 games and stuff like that. So a lot of Iowa games and stuff like that. So I've seen him play before. He was never going to be, or how should I put it? He's the kind of guy that, he doesn't, there's nothing necessarily flashy about him. He just plays the system
Am I
very well.
better?
He's let's give it a second to see if it catches up.
No, still bad.
Yep.
All right. Shit. I'll have to have my girl restart the router when she gets home. Um, is it real bad? Real bad?
I keep talking over you because I can't tell when you stop.
All right. Let's wrap it up then. If we can't. Oh wait. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router or moving closer to it. We can't move closer to the router because it's in her mother's room. Oh, this is wonderful. All right. So real quick, Josh Johnson, we signed him. Big news that I thought about. Kyle Shanahan, for the first time in his career, has a winning record. Officially, with
Yep.
Sunday's win, he is now 47-46 in his career. I think that's a big step going forward. I felt a couple weeks ago, especially after that Kansas City game, I was hard on Kyle. I really was. You
We all
know,
were.
it was the first time where I kind of, I feel it was the first time I kind of started to question things. You know, and he's responded, and especially with this, I mean, let's be realistic. Let's say Jimmy doesn't come back, or it's NFC Championship game. We win a playoff game, and we lose in the divisional round to the Eagles or Minnesota. Would you, considering the circumstances and who was our starting quarterback in that game, would you consider that a bad season?
For which one again? You talking about if Brock Purdy keeps going or if Jimmy
I'm
comes
saying
back?
Brock Purdy basically starts the playoffs.
Okay.
Brock Purdy starts the playoffs. We win the home game. You know, obviously, assuming we win the division, we win the home game, and we lose in the second round to Minnesota, the Eagles. Would you consider that a bad season?
Yes and
Considering
no.
who started the game at quarterback.
It'd be yes and no. No, in the yes, in the fact of obviously this team is built to win right now. So we're almost at the point now where it's Super Bowl
Yeah.
or bust.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you lost
Yeah.
not one but two starting quarterbacks, and now you're going to your rookie, last pick
Who
in the
does that
draft,
happen
Mr.
to?
Irrelevant. So that it's hard to say, but
Who does that happen to?
nobody.
I mean, I've that is crazy to lose basically. And I mean, let's be honest. When we step back inside, we all knew this was the risk of having Jimmy Garoppolo be the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
We've been saying it definitely after that AIDS game where we're like, dude, we need to protect Jimmy. That's priority number one. And he was hit by a free rusher, and and stepped into basically the player Mike McGlinchey was blocking, who basically smoked Mike McGlinchey. So real quick, Bam Bam defensive MVP of the week. It has to be obvious. It's Mr. Nick Bosa.
Yeah, no doubt. You
3
can argue for
sacks,
Greenlaw, but it's got to be
2
Bosa.
TFLs. I mean, I loved it, Greenlaw, but let's be real. Can we do Dre Greenlaw 3 weeks in a row when Mr. Nick Bosa has 3 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble? That, by the way, is the one when, of course, Dre Greenlaw scooped and scored. I mean, to me, apparently Nick Bosa went to Kyle, and basically, I guess Kyle last week said, "Oh, the linebackers played better than the D line," and basically called out the D line. And the D line basically talked about how they took personal. And after, I think it was the second sack, or maybe it's the third sack, the strip sack, Nick Bosa went up to Kyle and said, "Don't talk shit about me."
Yep.
Like not that type of way, like funk type of way, but like, and then he was like, "Or talk shit about me." Like, I mean, he's like, if this is the results that he gets 3 fucking sacks.
Yeah, talk shit to Bosa every fucking day.
Every fucking day. Fuck Nick Bosa. I mean, I don't. Whatever I gotta say, bro. I don't give a fuck. Bosa does his thing.
I mean, that puts him in first place for sacks
He
for the
has to win
season.
Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Well, Michael
Let's
Parsons is
say
still the
Niners
odds-on
won,
favorite,
and
but I
then
think that's Cowboy favoritism right now. But if you look
fuck
at it,
that.
well, and like I said, it's just Cowboy favoritism. But if you look at like tackles for loss, disruptions overall, and everything, Nick Bosa is so much. He does so much more, and he hasn't even played as many games as Parsons, so he has to be. But like I said, right now everybody's still on
Okay,
the Micah Parsons train. It's like I don't get it.
so this is of course leading into Sunday's game. So Nick Bosa has 11 and a half sacks. Of course, now he has 14 and a half and 30 quarterback hits. He's the only player in the NFL with at least 11 sacks and 30 quarterback hits. So to me, it's like, look, I'm not gonna pretend like I watched Micah Parsons play all year, but to me, it's what I was most impressed about Nick Bosa from that game is our best players clearly had to play their best for us to win that game.
Yeah.
And they did. Trent Williams had an amazing game. He was fucking mopping people all over the fucking field. Christian McCaffrey actually almost basically ran him over. That's actually why he didn't score that one run. But anyway, Trent Williams was mopping the floor with people as he does. Would doubt if he gave up even a single pressure the whole game. I don't know. I didn't personally see one. And Nick Bosa was basically the MVP of the game. Debo had a monster second half. Kittle Corn made plays when he needed to make plays. Juice had an amazing game. And to me, what encourages me most, and then I'll let you give your final thoughts, bro. What encouraged me the most about Sunday was you saw what I've been saying for weeks. Most teams don't have enough players to cover Juice, Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, who had a fine game, Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo.
Yep.
Most and Jawan Jennings. And even sprinkle in Ray McCallum, who I ain't gonna lie was making me nervous feeling some of those punts, bro. I don't know how you felt, but I felt a little nervous about some of those punts.
It's a little
But
there.
Yeah, a little bit. So, let's just be real. The final score doesn't dictate how close this game was.
No. It just kind of got away from
him. This was a close ball game. I believe you saw essentially the game you would want, which we saw a great game. And at the end of the day, it was a comfortable win. I mean, a little butt puckery, but you know, I would have definitely been disappointed walking out. Now, I mean, of course, you look at the stadium at Brock Purdy. I feel the way the game was unfolding. Like, to me, if Jimmy gets hurt and the Dolphins run away with the game, that would have been more understandable because, you know, hey, we tried out our third string fucking quarterback. First, by the way, the first Mr. Irrelevant to even quarterback to even throw a forward pass.
Right. That's a crazy ass stat.
So NFL history right there. Congratulations, Jason. Your first game at Levi's, you saw NFL history. Anyway, so yeah, I saw that. I'm the most encouraged by that, and that Brock Purdy can distribute the football to said weapons that people can't cover.
Yes, we're live. Okay. Sorry, I had Wi-Fi aggro.
Go ahead, Jason. I'll let you wrap up.
That's all good.
I'll let you wrap up and go handle your thing.
Yeah, like I said, had a great time out there with you, hanging out with you and everybody else for the first time. Levi's. I've been to Candlestick a few times and never made out to Levi's. The game, good luck, Jimmy. It sucks, man. But I think we have, as the one guy who was sitting while we were standing, we have Jimmy Light. I don't remember that guy screaming that the whole game about Brock Purdy. You remember going back to the draft, when I saw that draft pick, I was pretty excited about it just simply because he ran the offense, a similar style pro offense, very efficiently in college. So I was excited to see that. Like you said, it's hard to beat a team when you can distribute the ball to that many weapons efficiently. And then the defense just played absolute lights off. You know, for the most part, they just shut down Tua, who's been on fire so far in his game. And speaking of Tua,
he looked
Do you remember that we were actually partying with Tua's family in the pregame?
Yes. That's actually the
That was
dopest thing is so
that was pretty
I
badass.
will say this. I may or may not have been passed the blunt by one of the Tua's cousins. I may or may not have. Nobody saw it, so nobody can confirm it. But I may or not have that roach in my my red and gold grinder too. Just saying.
Yeah,
No, and of course, and I feel this needs to be said. Yes, they were wearing T-shirts that clearly said it's a family thing. You know, it was a Tua T-shirt. But I love his uncle sweatshirt because in the back it's straight up said, "But it's Niner gang." Like,
exactly.
you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
love that
his
sweatshirt, man.
Like,
That was a
bro,
great one.
I was like, "Goose, I fuck with your sweatshirt, bro." I was
And
like,
I'm going to
"That's
show you
dope."
something real
Nicest
quick.
people in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite picture from. I don't know why it's flickering like that. There we go. Look at that shit, man. That was good shit, brother.
What? Oh. Yeah, we got the delay. Give it a second. Oh shit, my bad.
Ah, we're good.
I got it. Yeah. You know what,
that
bro?
was good shit.
That
You
is
see,
one
you
of
see
my
all
favorite.
Tua's
That's
family
the
behind
tailgate.
us. Yep.
Yeah, also that's his cousin right there. One of his cousins. Yeah. But no, that was possibly drunk. I love that. You know what, bro? I'm not gonna say that was look, I don't believe the only game that will ever beat going to the NFC Championship game is a fantasy that I can't even fathom. You know, which would of course being at the Super Bowl with the Niners playing in the Super Bowl. Like I can't fathom that fantasy. But I feel for like a regular season game that I've been at, that was one of the most cracking regular season games I've had. I got to do a show with my co-host for the first time ever. Like even before, I'm talking even Adam, we never did a show together. You know what I'm saying? Got to watch great game. You feel me? Niners came out with the dub. And like I said to start the show, I think 3 wins. If you tell me that the Seahawks are one of them, because it's for the first time in my life, I will say go Panthers with all my heart and my might, because that means Thursday we could win the division.
Yep.
And if you tell me that we're pretty much playing for seeding, I mean, I have it right here. So Tampa Bay 6-6. So I mean, even if they win Sunday, that still that would be a game behind. The Cry Girls at 9-3. That's the one that makes me nervous, because that pushes it to the 6th or 7th if we drop down to the wild card. Washington right behind us. So if you tell me, you know, Washington and you tell me beat Washington, the Seahawks and the Raiders, I'll even take that. I think that gives us the division. I honestly do. All right, Jason, final thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and I'll let you get up out of here.
Good times. I think I gave him earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell, I forgot that. All right, brother. We'll see you next week. Get well.
Later, dude.
All right. Thanks, Jason, for sucking up. Jason gets fan of the week, y'all. Jason broke his toe at work before he came out here. He was still sabbing it out like a gangster. Had a blast. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think that the big thing is that Kyle Shanahan is officially a winning coach. And I have a lot of respect for the man right now. I have a lot of respect for what he was able to do with literally the last pick of the draft, the first quarterback in NFL history to throw a forward pass, being Mr. Relevant. I shall see y'all next week. But before we get up out of here, of course, I have to tell you this week's promo code for 10% off of all season 2 for the faithful by the faithful season apparel is Beat the Bucks. That's BUCK or BUCS. 10% excludes any on sale items. Promo expires midnight in a week. Go to use our affiliate link from shop49ers.com and save 10% and help out the podcast. Link will be in the description of this video or podcast. Go to seatgiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, and at NinerFaithfulRadio, and on Twitter at NinerFaithfulR. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Make sure to catch our weekly news wrap, NFR weekly news wrap, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And of course, catch our week 14 game day shows. I will be live pregame at noon. Jason will be live with halftime, and Jamie will join. We'll do postgame at 9 p.m. here on the West Coast. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners, baby.